Hey guys. So a while ago, I had written a vlog about, a blog about balance. So in my life, balance has been an extreme force. That's how I discovered what I was meant to do. Uh, Throughout my entire life, it was just a matter of, filtering out all the other noise and listening to myself, like I spoke about in the Trust Your Gut segment. Um, and what I had come to realize that, from the minute I was born as a Libra, to up until now helping other people establishing life balance within their lives with fitness, health, mentality, spirituality, just well-being. And I it was a long journey for me to come to this determination that that's what I was meant to do. um it dawned on me one time when my wife was telling me, like, oh, you have this just thing for making everything flow, you know and I had thought about it, and I was in the middle of like rearranging our apartment at the time and stuff like that. And I was trying to come up with like a system that worked for me, my son, my wife. It was just the three of us at that time. And I sat back and I realized, I was like, oh my god, you know, maybe that's my thing, and I was thinking like all kinds of random stuff, feng shui and all this other whatever. But my thing is actually just finding a balance of what's going on, in your environment, in your mind, in your body. A good balance is what it's all about, really. Um, you know, through the practices that I've learned about, everything from meditation to, the microbiome to nutrition to exercise, stuff like that, it all says kind of the same thing. Even in exercise, don't overwork one muscle over the other. Make sure you're getting an even distribution. The steps to making a really powerful body, or like a strong body, is first and foremost balance. That's the basis of everything else that you're going to do. Everything else has to be stabilized and properly balanced inside your body to be able to progress on to the next, couple of systems. So one thing that my programs often focus on is not just what to eat, what to do for exercise, when to meditate, stuff like that. It's also about, listening and finding what could be imbalances in your life. What could be things that you don't may not notice, but they're definitely there. And it's stuff that hides within the cracks and crevices that sometimes you just don't see. Sometimes people have relationships with food and they don't know where it comes from, and you find out, wow, it comes from, I was poor at one point and we never had enough, and now I just hold an abundance of food in my refrigerator. Like, even something like that is so it's telling of what your relationship is with food, and what your balance is with that. And what I help do is I kind of take you from up here with, whatever the issue is, and find wherever the source or the base came from, and kind of find a way to make them both work. Find a way to make you work, instead of always battling yourself and trying to figure out these whatever. Anyway, back to my original point is that, I've fluctuated with my diet multiple times. I'm currently going through a program that I set up for myself, because I was tired of all the diet programs. I had lost 100 pounds at one point being on Weight Watchers, and I have nothing against, if that works for you, that's great. But I know people who struggle on Beachbody, on, every different diet type and fitness program under the sun. And the main thing is sustainability. And so that's what my program really focuses on, is it makes it so that you will have no problems reaching goals that are sustainable in your life. That's what I consider true balance. If you can filter out all this other stuff out of the way, work schedules and doing this and that, like, we can work all that out so that everything feels like it's finally back in balance. I bet there's something that you're not really realizing could be getting in the way, or maybe you do and you just don't think that you know how to fix it. But I could tell you it's there. The answer's there, the solution's there, and I can tell you that the most important thing is, maybe sometimes it just takes another ear to listen to what's going on and say, hey, here's where your imbalances are. Here's where I'm noticing issues, Back to my story, Weight Watchers was doing well and good. I lost over 100 pounds, but as soon as that stopped, about a month later, I started, going right back up. And it's not portion control. It's not the fitness portion of it. Like, I was going back and forth with a lot of that. It was going through a divorce, just had bought a house, and going through all this other stuff at the time. It was causing such a fluctuation and imbalance that even with the proper eating and even with exercise daily and everything like that, it was just throwing everything off. And I thought that my life was on a great path. I thought that everything was going well. I wasn't letting the the divorce stuff bother me or anything like that. And, it was just that there was so much stuff coming together, and really found out that at the base of it at the time, my life was not that coordinated. I was trying to make up for my ex-wife's income at the time. I was trying to make up for, keeping the house. Where was I going to live? What was I going to do? All this other stuff. And it was just the stress and the not taking care of myself the way I should have, because I was so focused on making money, and I was so focused on, I have to have a stable job, a stable place to live, which is true. I need that, obviously. But the thing about it is, I was so, there was a storm going on in my head at the time that I was resisting, feeling all the feels at the time. I was resisting, doing basic things for myself, such as self-care. I found that I was going out with friends and drinking a lot, and, hanging out late, and, working my butt off all the time. And I was rarely ever home, and it was just, nothing too out there or crazy, no crazy stories or whatever. But it was just that everything was just out of whack. And what I did to finally bring everything back into whack was, just basically, I had to cut down on the hours. I had to know that if I budgeted my finances and knew exactly what I needed, I wouldn't just be killing myself to work for all these extra hours for no reason. Was it a possibility for me to keep the house? If not, it'll be a simple thing to find somewhere else, and just once I came to those realizations, things started evening out. And then I met my wife now, and we've been happily together ever since. I've had 3 beautiful kids since then. And even though my weight has fluctuated because of various reasons over the past couple of years, I'm finally in a place that I can, bring everything together, know exactly what works for my body, fitness wise, nutrition wise, know what I need rather than I want, and know why I want something, and or why I don't want something. If there's days where I don't want to work out or whatever, that happens. So the point of this is that life in balance can be perfected. It can be put in an equilibrium that works for you. And if you're interested in finding that, please come and talk to me. The link to my website or to get in touch is in my show notes. There's also a link to my socials and everything in there. Send me a direct message if you want, and we'll chat about it. We'll figure out what's going on, and, we'll go from there. All right. Until then, have a good day. And thanks for listening.